you that the secret to solving your hardest problems isn't finding more focus, order, or quiet in your head, but rather intentionally introducing a little bit of chaos. Welcome to this special masterclass. Over the past several weeks, we went on an incredible journey together through our Human Optimization series, exploring everything from cognitive load and microstress to the biology of connection. We learned how to protect our energy, build resilience, and connect more deeply with one another. But as that series came to a close, I found myself asking, where do we go next? That question is actually why I am launching this brand new special video podcast series called Mastering the Mind. Today, we're stepping outside the standard framework to look at something entirely new. An exciting intersection of physics, neuroscience, brain entropy, and how it fuels your cognitive flexibility. Now, have you ever wondered why some days your brain feels sharp, fluid, and brilliantly alive, while other days it doesn't? The answer doesn't just lie in how much sleep you got. Though rest is vital, it lies in the actual physical architecture and dynamic noise of your neural networks. Today, we are going to deep dive into what that means, look at how the brain actually solves complex problems using this science, and explore how you can use it to truly optimize your mind. To understand the brain, we first have to look at a foundational concept from physics: entropy. In physics, entropy is commonly taught as a measure of disorder or randomness in a closed system. For example, think of a freshly built sandcastle. Over time, wind, waves, and footsteps erode it until it turns back into a flat, random pile of sand. That is increasing entropy, meaning it moves from a state of high order to a state of high disorder. For a long time, scientists thought biological and cognitive systems worked the exact same way, assuming that mental disorder or chaos was inherently bad and a sign of decline or confusion. But modern neuroscience has completely turned that assumption on its head. In the context of the human brain, neural entropy refers to the richness, variability, and unpredictability of signals firing across your neural pathways. It's the measure of how many different states your brain can explore at any given moment. A low entropy brain state is rigid, repetitive, and locked into predictable loops, much like a train stuck on a single set of tracks. A high entropy brain state, on the other hand, is a dynamic, fluid, and capable of exploring a vast landscape of different configurations. Let's look closer at how this plays out physically inside your skull. Your brain is organized into complex networks consisting of hubs and pathways that communicate constantly using electrical and chemical signals. When you are performing a heavily practiced, routine task, your brain relies on low entropy states. It locks into an efficient, automated groove. This saves energy, which is great for survival, but it completely shuts down innovation. When do things change? When you face a brand new problem, learn a complex skill, or experience a profound creative breakthrough, your brain shifts gears. functional neuroimaging studies show that during these moments of high-level creativity and fluid intelligence, overall neural entropy increases. To see this in action, let's look at a fascinating, real-world example from cognitive neuroscience. Researchers studying people solving complex, abstract puzzle problems, which are challenges where standard rule-based thinking completely fails, monitored participants' brain activity using fMRI scanners. They found that individuals who successfully solved the most complex problems didn't rely on a single, isolated brain region, working harder. Instead, their brains drastically increased neural entropy. Regions of the brain that don't usually talk to each other, like the default mode network and the executive control network, suddenly started firing in novel synchronized combinations. Think of it like a massive orchestra where the musicians stop playing off the printed sheet music and start improvising together. The result isn't chaos that destroys the music, but rather a completely new, brilliant solution. This capacity to switch effortlessly between different mental configurations is what we call cognitive flexibility. It sounds unexpected, doesn't it? We are conditioned to believe that focus means absolute stillness and order. But neuroscience shows that a healthy, high-functioning brain actually requires a baseline of controlled neural noise to function at its peak. Think of it like a high-performance engine. If the engine is too tightly locked down, it stalls. It needs a certain amount of dynamic movement and internal flexibility to respond instantly to shifting road conditions. When your neural entropy is balanced, you experience enhanced problem solving. You aren't trapped by conventional thinking. If plan A fails, your brain can effortlessly pivot to plans B, C, and D, because your neural pathways aren't deeply entrenched in just one rigid trench. Accelerated learning. Absorbing new information becomes smoother because your brain is welcoming new structural patterns rather than fighting off anything that doesn't fit its existing worldview. Greater resilience. Just like we talked about with microstress and adaptation in our human optimization series, a flexible mind bends under pressure instead of snapping. So, how do we take these abstract neuroscientific concepts and apply them to our everyday lives? How do we actively cultivate cognitive flexibility and optimize our neural entropy? It all comes down to intentional disruption. If you want to keep your brain agile, you have to starve it of monotonous loops. Here are 4 actionable ways you can do that starting today. 1. Introduce novelty into the familiar. Change how you approach routine tasks. Take a completely different route to a familiar place. These micro disruptions force your neural networks out of autopilot and spark unexpected micro-entropy. 2. Cross-train your mind. Read books or listen to podcasts simply outside of your normal areas of interest. If you love science, dive deep into history, art, or philosophy. Forcing your brain to synthesize fields of knowledge builds brand new neural bridges. 3. Embrace productive struggle. Stop shying away from things that feel difficult to learn. Whether it's picking up a musical instrument, learning a new language, or tackling a complex problem. That initial feeling of mental friction is the literal sound of your brain building new, high-flexibility pathways. 4. The constraint shift drill. Try this exercise at home. When you are working on a creative project, writing, or trying to solve a challenge, deliberately impose a bizarre constraint on yourself. For example, try writing your thoughts or script using only single-syllable words. By forcing your brain to bypass its default, well-worn cognitive habits, you compel your neural networks to explore higher entropy pathways and stumble upon genuinely original ideas. As we wrap up this masterclass in our new Mastering the Mind series, I want you to reframe how you look at your own mind. Mental clutter, wandering thoughts, and the challenge of learning something completely foreign aren't signs that something is wrong with you. They are often simply the raw materials of a dynamic, evolving, and high-functioning intelligence. Embrace a little bit of structured novelty. Allow your mind to explore the wider landscape of its own potential. Thank you so much for joining me for this masterclass, and thank you for carrying this growth mindset forward with me. Keep optimizing, keep questioning, and I will see you in the next video. Also, do you guys like these visuals like at the Seaside State Park? If so, comment down below, and I will try to record more episodes outside, not just in my room. Thanks again for watching.